Welcome, fellow explorers. My name is Christian Alexanderson, and this is Hemlocks to Hellbenders, a podcast highlighting Pennsylvania's parks, forests, and great outdoors. When you stand at the edge of Hyner View State Park, it feels like Pennsylvania has stretched itself out just for you. Rolling mountains covered in endless green, the west branch of the Susquehanna River winding far below, and a sky so wide it makes you want to take flight. In fact, people do. Hyner View is one of the state's most famous hang gliding spots, where the bold launch themselves into the open air. I've been fortunate enough to see gliders taking off from the park summit, and it's a sight to behold. While Hyner View is beautiful no matter the time of year, in autumn it becomes a colorful masterpiece. The endless ridges fade into the horizon and are set ablaze with fiery reds, glowing oranges, and warm golds, as if the mountains themselves are smoldering. From the overlook, you can watch the Susquehanna carve its way through the valley below. Hyner View provides my favorite vista in all the Commonwealth. If I'm within an hour of the park, I have to stop just to take in the breathtaking view of the Pennsylvania wilds. But Hyner isn't just about the view. A few miles down the road, Hyner Run State Park offers a quieter, more grounded escape. The park feels like one of those secret spots you stumble upon and instantly want to keep to yourself. Tucked in a narrow valley, the park wrapped in trees makes you feel protected from the world outside its boundaries. A cool mountain stream winds through the park, drawing families to its swimming pool in the summer and anglers to its trail-filled waters in the spring. Trails climb from the valley floor into the surrounding forest, offering quiet paths where deer slip through the underbrush and birdsong replaces the hum of traffic. Hyner Run is a place where camping, hiking, and simple stillness converge. Together, these two parks tell a story of contrast, one that lifts you into the sky, and another that brings you back to the forest. But before we learn more about the parks, here's the stats. Hyner Run State Park is 180 acres, and Hyner View State Park is 6 acres located in Clinton County. Available activities include hiking, picnicking, wildlife watching, fishing, hunting, swimming, overnight accommodations, sightseeing, and hang gliding. A notable feature of the parks is the scenic view of the west branch of the Susquehanna River and the surrounding mountains. The parks are named after the Hyner Run, a stream that carves a small valley from the surrounding steep mountains. Nearby towns include Lock Haven, Jersey Shore, and Renovo. State lands that are close by include Bucktail State Park Natural Area, Cinnamahoning, Kettle Creek, Little Pine, and Upper Pine Bottom State Parks, as well as Susquehannock, Sproul, and Elk State Forests. You may enjoy the park if you enjoy soaring views of the Pennsylvania wilds. I'm excited to welcome Ian Lowen to the podcast. Ian is the Environmental Education Specialist for Hyner Run and Hyner View State Parks. Ian, thanks so much for joining the program.
Hey, my pleasure.
How would you describe the parks to someone who's never been there before?
So both parks are small, cozy parks with a lot of beauty. They are both historic in the fact that the surroundings were logged, and the CCC built some of the present structures in the area and replanted many of the trees. Today they're forested, and they're in what is known as a Pennsylvania wilds region of Pennsylvania, and it is in the Pennsylvania wilds is over 2 million acres of public land. And it's truly called the Pennsylvania Wilds because it's one of the biggest tracts of wilderness in Pennsylvania. I mean, you don't have the booming, you don't have like the big metropolises of like Reading or Philadelphia or stuff like that. You have small towns like Renovo, Coudersport, Wellsboro. Like those are usually how big your towns are in Pennsylvania wilds.
What do you love most about the parks?
So I like the fact that I like the area in which these parks are and how cozy they are. I mean, both parks are cozy little parks. They're both very scenic, both in very scenic parts of the state near the Susquehanna, the West Branch Susquehanna River. It's a very pretty area of the state and a lot of wildlife viewing opportunities.
As the name suggests, Hyner View State Park offers visitors an amazing view of the valley below. What will visitors see on a visit?
At Hyner View State Park, offers the visitor with a panoramic view of the West Branch of the Susquehanna River. They will also see miles of steep mountain ridges in the plateau, and it's over 1,900 feet above sea level. So you're seeing quite a lot of the valley, and as far as the eye can see, a lot of mountains and stuff like that. And of course, the West Branch of the Susquehanna. It's really, really gorgeous and probably one of the best scenic overlooks in the state.
In my opinion, it's my favorite view in Pennsylvania. We have a lot of incredible ones, Pennsylvania Grand Canyon. There's some beautiful things in the Laurel Highlands and all over the place, but Hyner View is just different.
So I'll add to that. There Lock Haven University is nearby, just down 120 eastbound. So you have a lot of Lock Haven students that actually, on a beautiful Saturday afternoon, they'll take a ride up 120 and then go to Hyner and find their way up to Hyner View State Park, and they just like to sit and look at the overlook and have picnics, stuff like that. So, I mean, it's definitely talk of the university.
Can you tell us about the hang gliders and paragliders that can sometimes be seen taking off from the park's platform and gliding above?
There is a hang gliding club called Hyner Hang Gliding Club. I mean, very poetic, huh? It uses Hyner Run State Park for hang gliding and paragliding. They usually give us the schedule at Hyner Run State Park when they plan to be up there. Usually you'll see them up there Memorial Day weekend, 4th of July weekend, Labor Day weekend, unless uh, weather doesn't permit. They will set their hang gliders in the lawn of Hyner View State Park to wait their turn to hang glide. Then they'll launch on the right side of the view and land in the field below. This event usually draws many spectators due to the time of year. So Hyner Run Hang Gliding Club also has an agreement with the park and the surrounding forest district, and all pilots must be members of the Hyner Hang Gliding Club Incorporated. They're celebrating 50 years of flying at Hyner View in 2025.
Oh, wow.
It's quite a milestone, isn't it?
Yeah.
And their website is basically hynerclub.com. Now, flying, pilots can fly any day of the year, though there are fly-in weekends. I mean, this is like ones that aren't part of the Hyner Hang Gliding Club itself. That and it's between sunrise and sunset, and they can use only unmotorized ones.
I was fortunate enough to be able to see a couple people hang gliding on my last visit to Hyner View, and it was just such a stunning, amazing experience to be able to see these guys just launch themselves off and just cruise above for what seemed like forever, and then be able to land. And when they land, they're not landing back on the park, as they're actually flying down below and then landing on like a field down below the area, some several hundred feet below.
Yeah, I mean, and you think about it too. Those hang gliders have to know the which way the wind is supposed to blow
Mm-hmm.
for safe hang gliding, and then they also have to know they also have to be familiar with their controls right there in the hang glider or paraglider and all that. So there's a lot that goes in with it, and of course while you're in the sky, I mean, there's a lot you have to keep your eyes open for.
How do you see most people using Hyner View State Park when they visit, and what do you suggest visitors do to get a full experience there?
Many visitors drive up for the view of the park at Hyner View State Park. Personally, I'd recommend packing the picnic lunch on a nice day or getting food from a nearby restaurant. The Lion's Den is just outside of Hyner. I mean, it has stuff like hamburgers and hot dogs and fries, or even subs. Some and some people go there, get their food, drive up to Hyner, have a picnic, and then take in the view at the same time. And I would plan a trip there least once per season. I'll talk. I mean, if you want to see if leaves are your thing, falls, you see two things. You see the view, and you see the enhancement at Hyner View State Park. So also, it's important to know that we installed a colorblind viewer at the view last year too. So to enhance the view of for everybody. And every now and then there's trail racing at trail running and hiking at Hyner View State Park, and they host several trail races a year, like the Hyner Challenge, the Hyner Half, the View, and Black Forest Ultra.
What kind of hiking opportunities are there for Hyner View?
A lot of the trails basically go in and out of the state park itself, and they're in the surrounding state forest. So and a lot there's like the Laginza Trail to name one, uh, and there's nearby Donut Hole. A lot of these trails are very steep. I mean, 1,000 foot rise in elevation in mountains. You need good hiking boots and definitely some water if you're planning on doing that, and of course a little bit of food and dress well for the weather and all that. So,
Now, Hyner Run State Park provides visitors with a little bit more to do than Hyner View. Can you tell us about the fishing opportunities at Hyner Run?
so Hyner Run State Park is named after its namesake, Hyner Run, of course. It's a good trout fishing stream. It has a significant amount of native brook trout in it, while also being stocked each year by the PA Fish and Boat Commission. And to note, is a Class A wild trout stream too. So there are a few hatches that come off the creek. I especially noticed the coffin fly hatch. I'm usually walking around the pool when it happens, talking to our visitors and all that, and I find a good educational opportunities there. If you know anything about coffin flies, they're black and white, kind of like salt and pepper, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and that's a good indicator that Hyner Run is pristine mountain water, and itself and in and of itself is cold and oxygen rich. So, do you fish?
You know what? I'm finally getting back into it, so I'm excited. I'm finally. I think I've just done too many interviews talking about fishing to now be the person that's like, oh, I have to get back into it. I miss it too much.
You ought to try it up at Hyner Run.
I'll definitely check it out. While there's not a lot of trails inside of the park, Hyner Run is the start and end of the Long Fork Trail. Can you tell us more about this 4.1 mile trail?
As you said, it's a 4.1 mile trail that is rated most difficult hiking, meaning that you want to have good hiking boots with good treading and plenty of water with you when you hike. Part of the trail goes by an old CCC shed and a quarry where they'd mine out rock. There's also a small spur on the trail that leads to a small overlook in the mountains. Part of the trail is also part of the Donut Hole Trail. There are also some very steep sections of the trail, as in with other trails in the area, and part of the trail also goes beside Log Road Hollow Run.
You brought it up before. Hyner Run State Park also connects to the 90-mile Donut Trail. How would you describe the hiking experience for those that want to take the trail from the park? You've said it's very steep and kind of what people need. What are they going to see? What kind of forest is around it?
So the 90-mile Donut Hole Trail runs through Hyner Run State Park, sharing part of the Long Fork Loop at one part of the park. Its western terminus is in Jericho, near the village of Cinemahoning. Its eastern terminus is in Ferensville. It's a point-to-point trail. People sometimes take day hikes in sections of the Donut Hole Trail. For people taking the section through the park, it is rugged. You'll need good hiking boots with good tread, plenty of water, and snacks to munch on. Just to give you an idea how steep it is. There's 1,000-foot elevation gain from bottom to top of both mountains.
Oh man.
It is a very mountainous trail with views of spectacular forest. I mean, a lot of those forests were logged back in the lumbering days and all that. And I mean, you see how like the CCC replanted a lot of those trees, and you see how spectacular the forest really is. So, and the trail also will take you through the lower campground, the nearby Kettle Creek State Park.
What kind of camping and cabin options are available for visitors at the Hyner Parks?
So we do have the Hyner Run Lodge that sleeps 8 people at Hyner Run State Park. It is located up a gravel lane just across from the swimming pool. The two-story lodge also has 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a kitchen, a dining room, a living room, and a roofed open front porch. And it's available for year round for reservations. Now, but to note, during the off season, a 2 night minimum is required. The off season goes from the 1st of January to the 12th of June of this year, and then picks back up the 15th of August till the 31st of December this year, which is the end of the year. That would make the peak season being the 13th of June to the 14th of August of this year, where a week minimum is required. The campground has 30 sites, and it's located right behind the park office. Some of the sites have electricity and some allow pets. There are also some non-electric sites in the campground. Each site has a picnic table, level pad, and a fire ring. The campground also contains a shower house with flush toilets, water outlets, a trash, recycling station, and a sanitary dump station. Some of the nice sites are in fact right beside the namesake stream.
Every time I visit the park, I always take a tour through the campsite just to see what spots I want to book for later on in the year. And one of the things I'm always excited about is being able to something I want to do this year, which is book in the summer because the campground has a pool, which is phenomenal and something I really think is a great option for campgrounds. How busy does the pool get when it's open?
So, that's actually a good question. Our pool is open at Hyner Run State Park from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Memorial Day to Labor Day, unless otherwise posted. And I will say too, that's also staff dependent beginning in the season. Our lifeguards usually are in college part of the year, so it might be a little difficult for them to work the full week or something like that from like right at the bookends of the season. But the good way to find out if the pool's open is to contact the park office or check out the website for updated hours. So during the swimming season, the pool usually is the busiest around the holidays like Memorial Day, 4th of July, and the pool is can be kind of busy when it's good weather and school's out. But needless to say, I don't think you'd be fighting for space at a pool like pools near the city or something like that. It is it quite well it is a very nice pool and speaks volumes for me because sometimes our staff find me swimming in it whenever it's my day off.
That's awesome. The Civilian Conservation Corps has an incredible legacy with these two parks in particular. What was their role in establishing Hyner Run and Hyner View State Parks?
So the CCC happened during the Great Depression, and the CCC being the Civilian Conservation Corps, and it was a source of work for many young men during the 30s and the beginning of the 40s. CCC Camp S75 was in the area around Pavilion 1 today at Hyner Run State Park. They planted pine tree plantation in the area beside the pool, and honestly, I think it's quite nice and quite peaceful, especially in the evening, like right before sunset on a nice summer day. And they also replanted many of the trees that were lost to logging back in the day. And going up to Hyner View State Park, they constructed the wall at the scenic overlook. And this camp, believe it or not, this camp was also a depot for supplies to some of the other CCC camps. And I just learned that a few years ago myself.
Oh, wow.
So some visible reminders of the camp remain in Hyner Run State Park, like at Pavilion 1. Pavilion 1 was constructed around a CC fireplace and chimney and for an unnamed building. So whenever they took the building out, they kept the chimney and fireplace and built a pavilion around it. And the gate to the CCC camp is still standing near the pool. And there is also a fountain still standing near the parking lot to Pavilion 1. There are also foundations of a garage near the Pavilion 1 parking lot and evidence of a roadway into camp. So a little bit about that fountain I previously mentioned. I was told by a local historian that the CCC boys would take trout out of the stream and throw them in that fountain to ease their homesickness. And then the next day, they'd often wake up and found the trout gone. I mean, raccoons could have gotten them, or.
And now, let's hear from our sponsors. The Keystone Trails Association presents the 2025 Keystone Hiking and Outdoor Weekend, October 17th to the 19th in the Pennsylvania Wilds. The weekend includes group hikes, river tours, bike rides, forest bathing, and more. KTA welcomes visitors to discover Clarion County and the PA Wilds. To learn more, visit kta-hike.org. Are you looking for your next adventure? Unlock some of the best landscapes in Pennsylvania with incredibly detailed, highly curated waterproof trail maps from the folks at Purple Lizard. They create extraordinary maps of Pennsylvania state forests for people who love to explore the outdoors. Find them at your local outfitters, bike shops, and bookstores, or visit purplelizard.com, where your next adventure begins. Refresh your love of Pennsylvania state parks and forests with the Pennsylvania Parks and Forest Foundation. Stay in the know by finding events on Meetup or their website, signing up for their weekly e-newsletter, following them on social media, joining a local friends group, or accessing resources online at paparksandforests.org. Together, we can help conserve Pennsylvania's natural resources, support education, and remove barriers to an inclusive outdoor experience for everyone. Looking for a way to add some local Pennsylvania flair to your space? Check out Sister Sunflowers. They create unique stickers inspired by small local spaces that make your community shine. From quirky caves to hidden local gems, their stickers bring your favorite places to life. Perfect for your laptop, water bottle, or anywhere that needs a little hometown love. For both locals and visitors, there's stickers, magnets, prints, and more celebrating Pennsylvania's most iconic parks and forests. And for the more avid explorers, there's even a hand-drawn poster to keep track of the Pennsylvania state parks and forests that you've been to. Use the code HELLBENDER15 at checkout to get 15% off your first order. Support local, inspire adventure, and decorate with meaning. Only at Sister Sunflowers. Shop now and celebrate the places that make your town special. All right, back to the show. From what I understand too, Hyner View also has a really wonderful statue at the top of the park for the CCC. Is that right?
That is correct, and it was put up there somewhere in the 2010 decade.
And for anybody that hasn't, that might not know what it is, it's the Iron Mike statue that they have, which is the shirtless guy with the hat. I think he's holding a shovel. You see them at a couple different state parks in Pennsylvania. I love the statues. I always take selfies with them whenever I see them. I just have to do it.
I was going to say you also see one. The other one I know, other park I know of that has that is Leonard Harrison State Park up near Wellsboro.
Mm-hmm.
So, and of course that camp was Darling Run.
Yeah, the CCC legacy in this area is just phenomenal. To imagine what they did to the landscape to be able to make it a working landscape, not only be able to plant trees, but also make way for so many improvement and park projects is phenomenal.
The Civilian Conservation Corps. Pennsylvania has the second most Civilian Conservation Corps camps in any other state. Only two. I'll give you a guess.
California?
California. Yep, you're right. So there's all sorts of stats around for how many CCC camps there were. I'm gonna take a rough estimate, 145 in Pennsylvania. It's like 145 to 150 about. So, but yeah, when you look at Pennsylvania, I mean, they're the most densely packed CCC camps within a state, if you will. And a lot of the CCC camps happened in Pennsylvania wild. So, and that's a side note for any people that are really, really interested in history. The Pennsylvania wilds region has tons of history. I mean, CCC. I mean, up at they have the logging museum between Caldersport and Gailton. That's the one that comes to mind, for instance.
The Pennsylvania Lumber Museum, yeah.
And they have a good, spectacular CCC area as well.
They also have an Iron Mike statue there too.
I think they do, yeah.
Yeah, right out front near the cabin, the CCC cabin.
Hmm.
Is there something everyone should experience when they visit these two parks?
There is something people should experience when they visit Hyner Run, Hyner View State Park. So swimming in the swimming pool at Hyner Run is a very good way to experience Hyner Run State Park. And like we said earlier, people often go there to swim and picnic. Sometimes birthday parties and family reunions are held there during the summer as well. I usually go over say happy birthday to somebody that has a birthday there. So so Hyner Run, Hyner View also have spectacular fall foliage when conditions warrant. And like we've said earlier, Hyner View is especially pretty with the combination of fall foliage and the scenic overlook of the West Branch, and not only just this area, but the surrounding Sproul and Tiodotin state forests. And then spring also is good for if you're big into wildflowers and all that. There's some spectacular blooms there. I mean, you can often see trout lily, for instance, there dotting the pine plantation that the CCC camp planted.
One of the things I love about these parks are their locations to other really great parks in the area.
Hmm.
Hyner View, I think, is worth a trip alone just to be able to see that stunning view. And if you were lucky enough to be able to see hang gliders launch off, it's one of the coolest experiences I've ever had. But also the fact that you're also close to so many other phenomenal state parks. You're not that far away from the Cherry Springs, the 6 or 7 parks up there. You're not too far away from Ole Bull. You're not far away from Little Pine. The area just has so much to offer that if you wanted to make Hyner Run kind of your base camp, you have so many places to like drive out and really have fun.
So just to give you an idea of how big the Pennsylvania Wilds region is in Pennsylvania, it has 29 state parks and 8 state forests. And it also has the only national forest in our Commonwealth, which is the Allegheny National Forest.
Do you have a favorite time of year for the parks?
They're spectacular in all seasons. So spring, like I said, it's a good trout fishing in the area, good hiking, stuff like that. They're all 4 season recreation parks. So summer, of course, swimming, and fall. I mean, swimming in the swimming pool for summer, and Hyner View, of course, uh, is good in fall foliage, and of course, a lot of the surrounding state forests and all that are really look good in the fall foliage. And then, believe it or not, in winter, Hyner Run snowmobile trailhead right there in Hyner Run. While the gates on Hyner View Road may close during the winter, Hyner View It's accessible by snowmobile and joint use roads via Ritchie Road and Old View Road. Many cross-country skiing opportunities nearby in Sproul and Tyodotin State Forest also exist.
Yeah, plenty to do at pretty much any time of year.
That is correct. So, and if we go back to the previous question and all that, you're talking about Hyner Run. So it's there's not just I mean, I gave you an example of stuff to do. I mean, if a visitor has a full weekend to explore the parks, I'd recommend camping one of 30 sites at Hyner Run, especially in the summer. Take a little time to relax at your site and then go swimming and sightseeing around the park in Hyner View State Park. You can pick up PA 120 in the nearby village of Hyner. You go eastbound to the city of Lock Haven. The drive is pretty, and along the west branch of Susquehanna. And Lock Haven has a nice coffee shop, Avenue 209, to relax at. The Ross Library with an immense history section with huge archives. Piper Museum is known for the airplanes, of course. And then they have a pretty downtown for anybody who wants to do a little shopping. Also, if you go the other way, you can run into parks like Kettle Creek, Cinnamahoning, Benezet, uh, like Sizerville, to name a few. They have a lot of like good wildlife viewing. Also, there's a bicycle trail at Cinnamahoning, and then on the other side of the mountain from Hyner Run, there's a bicycle trail right through Tyodotin State Forest, and a lot of scenic rivers and lakes in the PA Wilds area.
The area has such a wonderful diversity of wildlife. What can visitors see if they take a trip there?
So Hyner Run State Park is a blend of different types of trees, with many being like coniferous trees. That would be like your pine and spruce. Because of this, you'll see many woodpeckers and chickadees flying around the maze of trees. And if you take the nature trail, you can go right beside Hyner Run, see some trout now and then in the brook. There are also quite a few hatches that come off the creek for macroinvertebrate life. And then right beside the creek, especially in the springtime, you can see some vernal pools. I mean, salamanders and newts, I've walked by there and seen their eggs right there in the vernal pools. They're something to see. And every now and then you'll see a white-tailed deer or a black bear in the park. Sometimes maybe bobcats. Of course, your more common animals are squirrels and chipmunks, stuff like that. Hyner View State Parks, you can often see squirrels getting acorns and putting them in their stash in the ground. And then a lot of your songbirds up there include like indigo buntings, goldfinch, uh, some sparrows up there. Every now and then I mean, you'll see vultures riding the thermals, pretending they're just like the hang gliders. And every now and then, amongst the vultures, you can see the eagles. And at both state parks, every now and then, rattlesnakes. You'll see a rattlesnake. And if you know about them, they're a very misunderstood animal. They're actually quite timid by nature. They're actually more afraid of you than you are them. Usually, trying to hide from you and let you go by so you don't notice them.
Yeah, I remember I was attending a presentation about venomous snakes in Pennsylvania, and they were talking about the vast majority of strikes or bites that happen is usually when a human is doing something dumb, like trying to reach for it or trying to do something like that. It's pretty rare for them to just strike as somebody is passing by or near it. They like you said, they're much more afraid of you than you are of them.
So I'll give you a reason too to uh, protect rattlesnakes too. Rattlesnakes are actually a big predator of mice, believe it or not. And I mean, they keep the mice population in check. You have too much mice or too many rats. I mean, think about all the diseases you can, I mean, that can be spread, especially now with ticks and all that, Lyme's disease. So ticks actually attach to mice, and that's how they get the Lyme's disease, believe it or not. And I just see the rattlesnake's role. I tell everybody that the rattlesnake is nature's orchid man. So if I think if you see them like that too, you understand the value that they have in nature, and you can understand the value they have to us.
Yeah, I think about that a lot with possums because their overall bodies and face terrify me. Like they're like if I saw them, if I knew they were around when I was a kid, I would think they were demons. But they just perform so much useful functions for nature that you can't help but kind of love them what they do.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's a good lesson for all of us too.
What sort of events are hosted at the parks?
So there are a few races at Hyner Run and Hyner View State Park. We mentioned them earlier. One of the biggest races is the Hyner Challenge, which is in April and all that. Besides races, environmental education programs are offered at Hyner Run State Park, mainly on a weekly basis, beginning in May and going till uh, somewhere in October. And usually these environmental education programs include stream studies, crafts by the pool, hikes down the nature trail, history lessons, and the like. And a history day is being established at Hyner Run State Park, and it's been falling on the third Saturday of July, and it includes interactive exhibits and programs on local history like CCC, logging, and such. And sometimes at Hyner View State Park, sky programs are offered, and they include solar viewing and taking a constellation tour of the night sky. And before I was here, every now and then there'd be a meteor shower program at Hyner View State Park. I would like to say too that Hyner Run, Hyner View State Parks, they're open for group requests for programs like school programs, Boy Scout, church group, kind of like an organized group, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And to find posted events at both parks, you check the state parks calendar of events online.
As the environmental education specialist, is there a program you just love teaching the most or love performing the most? Is there something that really gets you excited to do when you're able to host it?
That's actually a really good question. I have many programs I like doing. I like talking about the local history a lot. I mean, as you could probably see when we were talking about the CCC in length. I also like introducing people to nature and all that. Just seeing the excitement on people's faces, seeing smiles and all that. It's priceless to me. If I see somebody is having a good time, it just feels like I've done my job. And really appreciating nature, history, something that I can't describe it. So I love seeing people enjoy nature and history as much as I do.
Yeah, and it must be exciting too for the kids that are, may not be outdoorsy kids yet, but they kind of come to one of your programs and they can see, the passion that you have for the subject and be able to kind of have hands-on learning opportunities. That must be cool to see kids getting excited about nature.
Like insect programs, for instance, if I do like fireflies or something like that, and kids will be like, "Oh yeah, we have fireflies at our house," or something like that, and we usually go out and look at it, and it's just priceless to just see their enthusiasm and be like, "Whoa!" when they see the fireflies glow or something. Just to give an example.
Yeah, that must be awesome. Do you have any tips for people who plan on visiting the parks, or any suggestions to make their visit as enjoyable as possible?
So one of the biggest tips in visiting Hyner View is to not rush. I know people want to be like, okay, I want to see this, but I honestly think Hyner View, and not just that, but the whole PA Wilds area is good for not rushing. I mean, relax, take in the scenery no matter what you are doing. There's so much to see in both Hyner View State Parks and the surrounding area in PA Wilds. I mean, me personally, sometimes during my days off, what I'll do is I'll take my sister and we'll go get like lunch and bring it to a state park, like Hyner Run or Hyner View, or and basically have a picnic and just walk around and enjoy ourselves. You think about it, I mean, the best in life is free, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you have so much to explore. I mean, and I don't think you can really enjoy it unless you just take it all in. I mean, how are you going to enjoy like the PA Wilds if you're on the go all the time?
Yeah, absolutely. And also people looking at their phone and trying to do that. If I remember correctly, I mean, how is your cell phone and internet signal where you guys are in those two parks? I'm guessing not so great.
So Hyner Run and Hyner View is kind of iffy.
Mm-hmm.
So where we're doing the where I am right now, I'm actually doing this from Little Pine State Park on my cell phone is non-existent. So I mean, let's face it, in the PA wilds, you get into some areas that don't have signal. I mean, wilderness, all that. So
Yeah, plus it's a good time to disconnect. Like you said, take it slow, enjoy your environment, and get off your phone.
yeah, I mean, your messages can wait.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that view can't wait.
Yeah, that the view can't wait. Seeing animals can't wait. If you drive a little down the road towards Kettle Creek, seeing elk can't wait.
Well, Ian, I want to thank you so much for talking to us. We really appreciate it.
Hey, you are very welcome.
I want to thank my guest Ian Lone for joining the podcast. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Meta for more information about upcoming episodes. You can support the podcast by buying merch at hemlockstohellbenders.com, or you can click support this show in the podcast description to provide a monthly donation. This has been Hemlocks to Hellbenders. I'll see you out there. Hosting, production, and editing by Christian Alexanderson. Music by John Sauer. Graphics by Matt Davis.